who have joined. Welcome to yet another webinar of Nemetschek India. As a part of our Innovate and Construct webinar series, we have been conducting webinars every month. And with the feedback from the last session, a lot of you have given a feedback that you wanted to know about more on Bluebeam Studio, how you would streamline your project workflows and enhance team collaboration. That's where we've come up with the topic of this webinar. So on studio projects and sessions for collaboration on Bluebeam Studio. And we hope that this webinar will equip you with all the tools and knowledge to effectively use the studio projects and studio sessions for document management and real-time collaboration in your projects. The webinar will be taken up by Pushkar. So Pushkar comes up with more than 33 years of experience in design engineering consultancies, and he has expertise spanning across project IT functions, training, technical support for various engineering and corporate applications. So he has extensive experience on Bluebeam in and practical applications as well. So he's been included in active participation in the establishment of various administration of EDMS systems and specifically along with Bluebeam integration. So he's the right person for you to understand or to know more about Bluebeam Studio. So I believe Pushkar, you can take it over and start the session.
Yeah, thank you, Shankar, for that nice introduction. And just adding few more lines from my side that I have been very instrumental in implementing the Bluebeam in various ADMS applications. And I can proudly say that Bluebeam offers you a one USP, which is nothing but this studio projects and studio sessions, especially the studio sessions for the collaboration. So you can collaborate your workflows with the internal stakeholders as well as external stakeholders. So today we are going to focus only on this particular area of studio, that is studio projects and studio sessions. But before we jump into the agenda for today, there is a poll that I want Shankar you to take from the attendees. So can you please display the poll?
Yes, Pushkar.
So we have the first poll question. Are you a new user of Bluebeam? So out of all these participants, we would like to know how many are already user of Bluebeam. May I request everyone to please submit their votes? I hope everybody is able to see the poll question.
Yeah, I think we're getting good responses. Oh, are you a new user of Bluebeam? So we'll wait for 30 more seconds for this poll. Please submit your answers.
More in detail, typing thing. Oh, thank you, Amol, for that suggestion. Looks like few of the participants are not able to submit their poll.
So you need to hit the done button to submit the poll once it is done. Okay.
Of the users facing issue in submitting their polls.
Okay. So you can go ahead. I think I'll relaunch the poll
Yeah,
once again. Yeah.
I think PV wants to ask something.
Yeah. I'm allowing the
Can
mic.
put, yeah,
Yeah. You can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yeah, I can't able to submit that whatever you are sending for poll, and even I can't able to chat.
1 second.
There is a pop-up came. Are you a new user for Bluebeam?
yeah.
Yes.
There is yes or no radio button, and there is a
And
submit button at the
it
bottom.
is not. It is disabled. I can't able to tick any of them.
Okay.
Uh, just check, Shankar. Is it possible to relaunch?
Yeah. I'll relaunch. I think Pushkar, you can go ahead. I'll relaunch the
Yeah,
poll once again.
yeah, okay. You may close this and we will move to the next poll. Which feature of Bluebeam?
Yes.
Is the submit button again disabled?
Visible, but those are not having option to enable. All are disabled. I can't select.
Is it the same problem with everyone? Can you put your comments on the chat, please? Let's see if you can
Yeah,
resolve it
looks
as
like
fast as
me.
possible. Yeah, Mr. Amol can do it.
I think chat also it is disabled. Chat is not available. There is a display.
Okay, Pushkar, you can go ahead. I'll try to resolve this issue. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sure.
No worries. So maybe I will jump back to the presentation and just let me know if you all are able to view the presentation slide. It is visible, right, Shankar?
Yes, yes, yes. It is visible.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and now you can probably mute again, everybody. Okay, so today's agenda is about the Bluebeam Studio. So Studio Cloud is nothing but it's a cloud server, and we are going to see there are two parts into Studio, which is nothing but a Studio project and a Studio session. And we are first going to just learn quickly about the overview of Bluebeam Studio. So by the end of today's webinar, you should be able to perform following functions like you can create your own studio account with your Bluebeam ID. You will be able to log in. Then the next step that we are going to do is we'll be creating a studio project and how you can invite users or set permissions. Then how Studio Projects helps you in storing and sharing the document files. Then you can do the revision control or maintain revisions. You can manage accesses to documents. So this is the first part about Studio Project. And the next part is the studio session. So we'll be creating a studio session. We will be inviting users, again set permissions, and then use the features like markups or measurements kind of features and functions that are allowed in studio sessions to collaborate on the documents. So coming to the studio, studio is nothing but it's a cloud solution, and there are two parts as I mentioned earlier. Also there is a projects and sessions. So projects, you can assume it as a lightweight document management system, and in which you can store any kind of file formats, and there is absolutely no limit to the number of projects that you can host and the number of files or their sizes. as long as you want, you can retain all the projects and the data within it. And the only thing is, you can store, as I mentioned before, you can store any of the file format, but when you want to work on them or you want to modify them, edit them, then the native application is required. So for example, in a you have created a project and in which you have put in the PDF files, you have put in some 2D CAD drawings, 3D model files, or maybe some Word, Excel, PowerPoint kind of document files are there. Then if you are trying to just as a view only, if you're trying to open the PDF file, of course, it will open in the Bluebeam interface itself. But if you try to open any of the MS Office files like docx file or pptx file, then it will open that particular file in its native application. That means it will open Word application if you want to view the document file. And then further, on every file, I mean, the moment you upload the files into the projects, they are locked files and you are not able to edit them as it is. You will have to do the checkout. So when you check out, then only it adds the facility to modify those files. And then once you save it and say check in, then it will allow you to, I mean, put it back into the system and the other users can now collaborate onto it. So this was about the project. So projects you can imagine as if it's a virtual office library wherein you can store all your project related documentation. And the next part is studio session. So in studio session, again, you can imagine it as your office's virtual meeting room, wherein on a PDF file or number of PDF files which you want to review, you're putting it on a virtual table and inviting all the collaborators. They could be internal, external, they could be at any geographical location, and they can simultaneously do the markups on the PDF files. And at the end of it, you can also create the reports. So this is Studio Project. Studio Project is a cloud-based storage system. You can manage all the project-related documents in the cloud. This helps you in improving the QA/QC speed and accuracy. Then integrate revision control, get the data you need. You will get, since it is at one location, it's a single repository, it's a single source of truth. You can get whatever data you want. You can get it faster also because it is available online. And this is how it works. This is the schematic of the studio project. So you have got, you can see on top, you have got your internal team, architect, structural engineer. They all are using the desktop version of Review, and they can work on all the native files. It is a central repository. It gives you the lightweight functionality of the EDMS system, like you can check out, check in, you can have the revisions, history stored in, all such things you will be able to perform in Studio Project. And in the same Studio Project, if you want to collaborate it with your external stakeholders, like maybe a contractor or owner who does not have Bluebeam Review, you can still invite them into the project and they can very well use the browser to collaborate or will be able to view all the project related documents that you are sharing with them. Of course, there is the access control is also there with the project owner. So this is about the studio project. And this is for the studio sessions. So in studio sessions, again, it's a tool for project partners to collaborate and process documents at the same time. So multiple people can mark up, they can, I mean, whatever markups you have put in, and if it is assigned to your subcontractors, they can reply on that. You can do the chat, you can put the statuses. So you can keep track of all the markups and their authors who has marked what, then this also helps in speeding up the design reviews. Because generally what happens is whenever it's a drawing review, we generally follow a linear path. So that means somebody is marking onto the drawings, then that marked up drawing goes to the other discipline or other department, then they start putting the markups or the commenting based on what is already been put, or like they have to literally find the space in the same drawing where to put their markups. Then there could be like everybody may be using a different kind of pen or shading, or the properties of markups could be different. So to unify them also, Bluebeam helps actually. And so this way you can speed up your design reviews. Instead of having a linear kind of review process, you can do it in a parallel and simultaneously gather all your markups together. And since everybody else is able to see the other person's comments, it is very easy to put your comment, which will not hamper or which will not superimpose, or it will not be overlaid onto some other person's comments. And then you can customize collaboration permissions also. So who should be able to perform what operations. Again, this is presented in a schematic way. Uh, so you can put all the relevant documents into a studio session for markups and measurements. Internal team is there. They can use very well use their Windows desktop version of Bluebeam Review, and the external parties will use the Bluebeam Cloud. So that's all about the basics of what Studio Project or what Studio Station is and how it is going to help us. So now I'm going to directly jump into the Bluebeam. Since you all have registered for this particular webinar, I assume that most of us are already users of Bluebeam. However, we have noticed maybe from our past seminars, webinars, or the events or demos that although we all have this Bluebeam review with us, we are not using this particular USP, that is Bluebeam Studio, to the I mean, we are not at all using. We are just working in a silos, and we are not collaborating at real time with all our stakeholders. So that is why we decided to have this today's session. And this is the user interface of Bluebeam everybody is aware of. The first 2-3 things I would like to mention over here before we actually jump into the actual demonstration of these functionalities is, first thing, that from Bluebeam 21 onwards, it is a named user license. And the moment you install, I mean, you download the latest version from Bluebeam, once you purchase the Bluebeam license, and it will be logged to your Bluebeam ID, which is nothing but your email address. Okay, so as soon as you install the latest version, which is currently, if you want to know what is the latest version installed in your application, I mean, on your Windows desktop, so you just click onto review and go to about, and it tells you that this is the version that is being installed. So review 21.4 is the latest version. It is just released couple of days back. So if you are not using it, I would suggest and request you to just go to the download site of Bluebeam and once again download the latest one and get it installed. If you are having the admin access, you can very well do it yourself, or you can take your company's or organization's IT admin help. And then once you log in, you will be able to see your login credentials over, not credentials, I mean to say the login information over here. So this is the Bluebeam ID, which is nothing but your own email address. And most of us are in India region. So that falls under APAC region or APAC region. And for that, we have the Bluebeam license server in Australia. There are, of course, license servers at 4 other places. And whenever you apply or like whenever you purchase a license, most of the times you will find your region to be Australia. In some rare cases, it could be coming from US or UK or Germany or Sweden also. And then what is the plan? The plan over here is complete. So complete, there are flavors of Bluebeam, that is basics, core, and complete. And complete offers the entire functionality of Bluebeam, whereas there are some limitations in the core and the basics. So basics is very preliminary kind of license that you can get, or very basic. And core and complete are the plans wherein the person having these licenses will be able to create a studio project or a session, and they can invite all other stakeholders, including the one who are having the basics. So basics user will not be able to create a studio project or a studio session, but they will be able to participate in it once they are invited into the session. So generally what happens is whenever you are invited into a session, only then the certain commenting tools will get highlighted, or you will get that functionality in the Bluebeam. Okay, so that is the main difference. You should be having either core or complete to create a studio project or studio session. And once it is created, you can invite anybody who is having the basics license also, or external stakeholders need not even have the license. They can very well use the browser version. So this part talks about your license. Okay, and then now I will talk about the studio. So in the user interface, you have got this menu bar wherein most of the menus are, important menus are mentioned, or uh, they are present over here. You have also got some toolbars at the side and at the top, but currently they are not highlighted. The reason for that is none of the drawings are being opened. So I will try to open some drawings and then you would know. Okay. Say suppose I'm opening one drawing. So now you can see all my toolbars got highlighted. Okay. So these are my toolbars. This is my menu bar. Most of the commands will be there in the menu bar as well as in the toolbar. There is one more area. This is called as panels. Okay, why it is called as panels is like when you click onto these icons, the respective panel opens up. Okay, so these are panels, and they are also having usable functionalities. The main ones I can mention over here is file access, or you can have the thumbnails displayed over here. There is a tool chest, so whatever commenting tools as a library you want, you can just get them from here, or you can create your own commenting tool sets also, like how I have created over here the quantity or the beams or columns. These are some of the tool sets which don't come along with the application as a default, but you can create your own. So there is something called as customization in them. So for that, you can go to this manage tool set and you will be able to create this kind of thing. Then the other important ones are the properties. So whatever comments you are putting onto the drawing, so for that particular comment, it is going to display you the property of it. Then this is for the measurement. Then there is something called as search. You can do the text search or the image search. This is helpful in your measurements. So prior to this webinar, we had one webinar which was for the measurement or the estimations. So during that time, we covered this textual search or the image search to uh, find the quantities or the estimation of length, area, measurement, all those things. And the last icon over here is the studio. So we are going to talk about this part, of course. The other areas or other uh, parts of this user interfaces, there is a markup list at the bottom of the screen, and whatever comments, markups that you do, even for the studio session, everything will be logged over here in this. And you can see over here, there are lots of columns. You can also get more number of columns. Plus, you can create your own column also. There is a custom columns option also available. And once you get all your comments in place, everything is been logged. You can always extract it as a CSV summary, or it's a comma separated value file. So obviously you can very well open it in Excel and then further save it as Excel file. You can further add more number of columns if you want to do the estimations, you want to put additional columns like a responsibility or something, and you want to manage them in Excel. You can very well do that over there. You can also extract it as a PDF summary. So PDF summary can be also appended to the same drawing, in the sense whatever number of comments you are saying, maybe 100, 200 comments are there. So all these comments, it for them, it will create a snap of those comments along with whatever columns that you are seeing over here, and it will be hyperlinked also. So when you click onto that particular snap, it will bring you back into that particular comment in the main drawing. So this is how the PDF summary also works. Okay, and coming back to the studio part. Now, when you are in studio, you may not be able to see something like this. That is because you may be signed out. So you may see something like this. Okay, so coming to the license which comes from your Bluebeam Australia region, this is something different. This is a cloud server wherein you can create a project or a session, and you are free to do that in any of these 5 servers. So no matter whether your license is coming from Australia or US or UK, you are still able to create your own uh, account into any of these servers or multiple servers also. So right now I am uh, going to use the Australia server. The site for that, I mean, you can just browse for this also, bluebeamstudio.com.au, and then you can create your login ID. I mean, you can register your login ID over there if the account is not created. So likewise, you can create your account in any of them. So suppose if you want to create account in maybe the studio Germany, so then you will have to type bluebeamstudio.de. So we can just simply go to the browser and type in bluebeamstudio.de. Okay, so you get this interface. If you have already created this account, then you can directly put in your email address, then go to next and put the password. But if you have not done that, you can sign up and then fill in the information. So this will create one account in the Germany studio server. Likewise, you can create your login into any of them. Okay, now why should we select a particular studio server is because you just assume this is a collaborative tool. Your stakeholders could be situated anywhere in the world. So, and since it is an online facility, then you have to keep in mind the latency issue or the bandwidth of the internet. So wherever your project concentration is more, or wherever your more number of stakeholders are there, or your site especially, like wherein most of the times it could be at a remote place, you don't have a very good bandwidth connectivity, so the latency issue might come. So if your site is somewhere in and around United States, then you prefer the studio United States for hosting your project or your session. Similarly, if you are near to, I mean, anywhere in the Europe, you can either choose UK or the German server. Or if you are at the Far East side or in Middle East side, you can use this Australia or UK. So depending upon where your geographical location is, you can select that. And once you have created your account, you will be able to sign it over here. So when you click onto this studio, it comes, I mean, it asks you where do you want to sign it. What I can do is, in this case, I'm going to use my review login credentials. So my review login credentials are locked to Australia region. That means when I just click on to sign in from here or from here, it takes me to Australia region only, and it will pick up automatically my user and password. Just have to do the sign in. Now you can see over here, I've got the studio project. There are so many studio projects which either I have created or maybe I have been asked to join the projects. And there is a studio session. Again, same thing over here. Either I have created these sessions or I have been asked to join the session, which is created by somebody else. Okay, now you look at the number of sessions or the number of projects, and then whichever have been probably expired or something in the sessions, that also you can notice over here. But let me show you. So this is the list of projects now, right now for me in Australia server. But what if I try to log into United States? So then I will sign in over here. So since my login credentials are already there in the memory, it is directly allowing me to log into US server. But you can see over here, there are only two projects and there is just one session, which also probably got expired and it is going to be deleted in next 59 days. So such kind of information you get. But suppose if you want to jump to maybe UK. So you see my login credentials are not there in the memory. So then I can put my credentials. And so this way, since I've created my account even in UK, now in UK I've got different project and different sessions. You can see over here. Okay, but I have not created any my login into maybe Sweden server. So if I try to sign in, it will say such account is not there. So you see, sorry, this combination doesn't look, or check your regional selection and all those things. So in that case, you will have to sign up. So once you do sign up, then it will show you, I mean, it will ask you for all these details and you can create an account. So in a way, you can create an account in any of these studio servers and start using it. So if somebody is inviting you, so then you will have to create your ID in that particular region server, and then the list will be seen over here. Okay. So now coming to the first part, that is creation of a project. So I will show you, once you're logged in into Studio, then you come over here and you say add. And then there are two options. Either you can create a new project or you can join an existing project. So whenever a new project is created, of course, the name you are giving, but there is a unique 9-digit code generated for that particular project or that particular session. So when you say join, you need to know what is this code. And many a times when you are a collaborator, you have been invited also, then the invite mail will display this code for you and you can join from here. Okay, so you just have to type in that 9-digit code over here and then it will appear over here as a join. If somebody has invited you and you are still not joined till date, then such list of projects will appear over here as not joined. Okay, so let me quickly create a new project for you. So we can say webinar test project. Okay, so it has created this project. It has created a unique ID of 9 digits and it is showing you this interface. Like any other Windows Explorer kind of functionality, you have got to create this new folder or upload files into a, whichever folder you want. You can create even the subfolder structure also from scratch, right from scratch. Okay, and there is this one good thing which is upload folder. So in upload folder, what you can do is you can select the entire, I mean, if you select the root folder, automatically all its subfolders along with the files or subfolders, everything will come into this studio project. Okay, so I'm just going to select this folder and there are so many. I can show you that there are lots of files in this. Okay, so this is the folder that I'm trying to upload. It has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subfolders. Again, there are some folders. There are some JPEG files. There could be some Word files, Excel files. So these are all drawings. Then there is a revision folder also inside this. There are RFIs. There is an Excel file. There are open and closed RFIs. So just assume that all your folder structure along with the some of the files are already there in your Windows location. So you want to use or you want to duplicate this project folder structure. So you select it and just say select folder. It will take some time. You can see over here it is saying uploading. Okay, and once it is completely uploaded, it takes about 2 to 3 minutes to upload. Once it is uploaded, you can see it is slowly populating all this folder, or it is creating these subfolders. At the time this is saying uploading, it is like adding the files or uploading the file. Takes about 3 minutes for this particular project that I'm trying to upload.
Yeah, Pushkar.
Yeah, it's still uploading.
It's uploading, is it? 1 second.
Yeah. Okay, but anyways, you can see over here that it has created these file folders. There are JPEG files into it. There are RFIs, the Excel file that I mentioned. All these things are over here. Now, say suppose if you want to add more number of files, there were some files maybe outside of this airport project, and you directly want to add these files. So you can just simply click and drag also over here. You can see it got added directly under webinar test folder, and see this is the way it is uploading. Okay. let me just upload even this PPT file. You can see over here, even that PPT file also can be uploaded. So this way you can create a folder, you can store various files, okay, and you can use this button for the project setting. So over here it gives you all the information about the project, total number of files, subfolders, and all those things. What is the size? You can put the user accesses. So if you want to invite somebody, you just have to click onto this plus sign and then you type in whichever email address that you want to invite. Okay, so right now I'm putting some external email address. So as if you want to invite this person. Again, you can give the permissions to your attendees, whether they should be able to send invitations, manage user access, manage permissions, send PDF to sessions, revoke checkout, share file, all those things. Maybe I can give, currently I'll just give all. Okay, then you can also define the folder level permissions in this. So a particular folder or subfolder you want to give access, like which kind of access you want to give, read, write, delete, all such things you will be able to define in the project settings. Okay, so now over here you can see it has stopped. Instead of uploading, now it has come to upload status. So this is how you get the status. This has been uploaded, how many files, what files got uploaded, all such things it tells you. Okay, now coming over here, we had this different files. Okay, now let us I'm sorry, let us try to open the PDF file first. Okay, so when I double click onto a PDF file, it is asking me whether I want, in the workspace, I want a split view, and in one side you want to see the project, as well as on the other side you will see the PDF. But right now I'll just say no, because I want to use the entire workspace area. Okay, but over here, can you see there is a lock symbol? Lock means it is kind of a view only file, so you cannot do any modifications. Also, you can see over here there are hardly any tools which are enabled. Okay, so for that you have to just click onto it and say checkout. Okay, so from here also you can check out, or just right click on this file and you say checkout. It is one at the same. Okay, once it is checked out, now you can see a different symbol as a checkout is been added. When you double click onto it, now that lock symbol is no more there. Which, what you can do is just click onto it and you can do undo checkout also. So again it has become a lock file. Okay, and anybody and everybody can see that particular version of the file. Now let me check out. Okay, and then you can notice all these tools got enabled. So then I can use any of the tool, I mean markup from here. I can maybe use a tool chest. So let me put whatever comment I want to put, revision comment I have put in. Okay, and then I can save this. Whenever you don't save it, you put any comment, it is generally been denoted. Can you see there is a star mark over here, which is nothing but it tells you that it is not been saved. So you save it. Again, you click onto this icon and you say check in. So when you check in, you have to add some comment for the check in. So now it will put back that particular drawing into the system as a locked file again for somebody else to check out. Okay, you can check its revision history from here. So it tells me that this is the second version 1.1 and who has done it and what comments are being added. Okay. So this way you will be able to perform. I mean, first of all, you can just view the files which are there in the studio project. That is your PDF file. And if you want to put some comment, you have to check out and put the comments, use all the Bluebeam functionalities for doing the commenting. And then you save it and check it back. So then the next user will be able to see that particular modified file. Okay. And you also get the revision history. Now let us try for the pptx file. Let us see what happens to this pptx file. Let me just close this first so that there is no confusion. There is no ppt file open right now. And I double click onto this. It opens in the native application, but you will be able to, I don't know if you, I think you are not able to see, but it is says that this is a read-only file. Why read-only file? Because it has not been checked out. So you cannot save any changes onto this. So again, you will have to do right click and check out. So once it is checked out, now you try to open it. Now you don't see any read-only comment over here. So whatever changes you want to do, I suppose you are moving it from here to here. Okay, and I'm just saving this, control save, okay, and closing it. And then again, I will say checking. And I can put the comment and check it. So now this is checked in. If I double click, now you can see the photo is already shifted, but this is again my read-only file. Okay. So this way you can store, I mean, first of all, you can create your studio ID. You can use whichever studio server you want. Then you can create the folder structure. You can upload all the relevant project files onto the studio project. You can use the functionality of this lightweight EDMS system, like you can do checkout, check-in, you can do the modification. Of course, it requires a native application for those file formats also to be in your installed in your system. Then you check in back into the system and it will have the revision history also maintained. Plus you can invite the all the stakeholders. They could be situated, I mean, they could be internal or external. Internal could also be situated at different design offices, site office, headquarters, wherever, plus your contractors or subcontractors and the owners also. So there are commercially available EDMS systems and they are quite powerful than this particular system. However, you can imagine, like if your organization is very small and you yourself is not able to invest into that full-fledged document management system, in that case you can make use of this studio function, studio project function, and you can store all your project related data at one single point. And so this acts as a single source of truth, or you can say uh, it is a centralized repository of all your project documentation. And this project documentation, you can use it right from your concept stage or bidding stage. Then you move to the next stage, like once you bag the project or you get the project is awarded to you, then you move to the design or engineering phase. So again, you will be adding more and more number of drawings, documents into it. Then you can have the revision control done over here. and more detailed drawings are coming into picture, you can add the markups in the design review stage. So we are going to see the studio session for that, of course, but you can do the markups either in silos also or separately also, and then compile them together by importing comments kind of function. But you can very well use studio session also, so that part comes for your review, commenting, QA, QC check. And then there is uh, even the estimation you can do, of course, during the bidding phase also, or in your detailed design stage also, because in detailed design stage you want more and more accurate estimation, because basis on which you're going to place the POs. So that is one thing. And then related to execution or construction also, you can create a studio session, and in that studio session we are going to see, of course, that. And you can manage the punch list or snag list also. You can create RFIs, you can have the closed and open RFIs. So things like this, all these things can be managed into your studio project and studio session. So now you we have completed the studio project part, and from here also, like whichever PDF file is there, you can create a session for that. Okay, so all you have to do is right click and say add to new session, then it is going to create a session. But of course, I'm going to show you another way also. But this is how you can create a session for a file which is there in the project. Okay, so now I will jump to the studio session. So this was all about your studio project. Now let us go to studio session. Okay, again in the studio session, creation part or joining part and all will be almost the same. You just have to click and say new session. You have to put the session name. Then you have to add the files. So whichever files you want. See, this is actually we have done some SharePoint integration also. So I can pull up the files from the SharePoint, as well as I can pull up the files from the local drive or the network drive also. So I can put as many as I want, uh, different files I can include in my session. So what I will do is, I'm taking, say, suppose these three files. Okay. Now, which permissions I want to give to my collaborators, whether my collaborator also should be able to save these files. So whichever files I'm putting onto the cloud, they can very well download it and save, or like they can create a copy of it using the save as. They will be able to print the file by maybe Control P, or whichever printer they have on that, they will be able to print. Of course, you want to give this markup facility to each and everybody. That's why you have created this session. Then there is something called as markup alert. So markup alert is nothing but it's a notification mail that will go whenever you want to alert somebody on a particular markup that you have created. So say suppose I have created a markup, some snag list, snag is there or punch point is there, and I want to assign it to electrical contractor. So what I will do is I'll do the cloud marking, put my comment, and I will right click and say alert to electrical person or MEP, any of the mechanical, electrical or plumbing, whichever services I want. So accordingly, I will alert that user. So what that user gets is, he will get a notification mail after some time, wherein the snapshot of that particular snag or the comment that we have done, that will be shown, and it is hyperlinked also. So you just have to click onto it and it will bring to that particular comment in the main drawing which is there in the session. Then whether they should be able to add documents also from their side. So right now there are only three files or three PDF files onto this session. are going to be in this session. So from their side, if they want to add more files, so that also is possible. Then the next thing is, this is very important security setting, that is restrict attendees by email address. So just assume that I am the creator and I have created this session, but inviting only limited few persons. Say for example, I may again invite that PG mail, I mean Gmail one ID is there. So I'll try to invite that, and then that invitee gets an email address along with the link for this session, and through that link of the session, he or she will be able to access these files, will be able to put the comments onto these files. But what if that Gmail ID holder, he forwards that mail to some other person who has not been invited? So in such case, that third person will not be, the link for him will be disabled. He will not be able to click onto the link and enter into this particular webinar test session, and he will not get to see any of the files. So that is why this is there by default. Only in, like very limited cases, you will just tick this off. But recommended is you keep it on only. And then the session expiry date also you can mention. So suppose today is 23rd and you want all your stakeholders to complete their markups by 27 at whatever geographical time, you say okay. So once this is done, it will ask me to invite the users. So you are going to see that session will be created over here. Okay, these three documents which were there in the system, they are shown over here. In joined, it is telling me that only this user has joined. It is recording after joining the session. It has completed uploading these three files. So everything that has been done gets recorded over here. Then I'm pasting my user ID. Of course, I can put some internal stakeholders IDs also. Right now, I'm just omitting that particular part. Check and send the invite. So when you say check, it is going to differentiate between all the different domains. It tells me that under gmail.com, there is only one ID. So I say, suppose if I had invited three people from my own organization, it will come as at nemecheck.com. There are three persons. So likewise, it segregates domain wise over here. You can add a quick message for the notification. So I can say, please review these, these drawings by Monday. Whatever comment I want to put as a message in the invite mail, and I will say save message, and then I will say invite participant. So it tells me the Bluebeam Studio has sent email invitation to all the attendees, and you can see over here not joined is tmorvale@gmail.com. Okay, then I can, this is my internal ID. I can open any of these drawings. Okay, I can go to move to any of these drawings. They are shown as a tab over here. Say, let's say I'm into this first drawing, and maybe I can put some comment, a markup, and I'll just cloud mark something. Okay, and maybe I will fill it up with some color. And since everything behind it gets hidden, I will make it as a highlighter so it displays whatever is behind. Okay, you don't need to save, it automatically gets saved. Okay, now let me go to my browser. Okay, and over here I will just show you how the invite mail looks like, even for the project or the session. So it comes something like this. You have been invited to studio session webinar test. Okay, so this is how you will see. And this was my message. Please review these drawings by Monday. So this is my external, you can assume pmorvale@gmail.com is my external collaborator whom I'm trying to invite into the session so that he or she can also comment on the drawing. This is the session ID. It is all hyperlinked and it is also telling me that this particular session is hosted onto Australia server. Okay, I can join from here, or another thing is what I can do is on the browser, I can simply type app.bluebeam.com.au. Okay, and when I try to enter into this link, now in the browser, I will not log in with my Nemetschek ID. I will log in with my Gmail ID. Okay, so instead of this, I will take Gmail ID and next. So now you assume that these two are two different persons. One is internal stakeholder. He is doing the markups directly in the desktop. And there is this external person who has been invited into the session. He has to, of course, sign up, as I mentioned before, whichever server he has been asked to join for the session or the project. He has to first create his ID and then he can jump in. So now over here, I can see my all the studio projects to which I have been invited and all the studio sessions. Okay, so I can see this webinar test session over here and the project also I had created. I think I had invited. So today is 23rd. So this webinar test project that I had created, it is available for that external user. You can see over here, he is able to see all these files, right? So now let us come to the studio session. Let's open this webinar test session. So there you go. You can see all these three files from here. Okay, so this is my Gmail account. Assume that this is an external user. I can zoom into it. I've got limited functionalities of the markup. So I can do only cloud mark or this rectangle ellipse, or I can do only the call out or cloud plus kind of marking. So let me just do the cloud plus somewhere. And let me type comment by Gmail ID. Okay. And now let us check what happens here. So it immediately occurs over here. Okay. Now this particular comment, okay, this is the originator who has created this. When he right clicks onto that particular comment, there is something called as alert attendee, and then he has to choose. Now we had created only one, I mean, we have invited only one external ID. So, and that external ID has already joined. So once it is joined under the alert attendee, this name will appear. If somebody has not joined, that name will not appear for alert. Okay. So I say okay. So if somebody is not joined, what you can do is you can go to that not joined and just right click and ask him to join. Okay. Okay. Coming back over here. So you can see there will be a what I've done is I have alerted another user for this particular markup. And of course, it will not come immediately, but in Gmail, I can show you how the messages comes. So if I say alert, oh, so it already came. Can see over here the same thing. And when I get the small screenshot of it, and it is hyperlinked also. You just click onto it. It asks me, what do you want to do? So I can join in the web. Okay, it takes me over there. Sorry. So it takes me to that particular drawing. Here you can see all these uh, comments, like how you see in the markup list. The external user will be able to see all these markups on the right hand side. These are all the limited functionalities that he gets. He can access different files from here. He can put his own markups over here. Okay, he can again, like go back and maybe access some other session, and he can start marking up over there. And all these changes will be reflected over here. Okay, there are lots of things that you can do over here. You can also set the status. Say, for example, for this particular comment, you can set the status. This was given by Gmail actually. So you can put the review status as accepted. So suppose I am accepting it. So you can see in the status, it comes as a time stamped. Somebody has accepted this particular command, this particular comment. Again, if I, after completion, I can say completed over here. So it doesn't actually delete the earlier comment, but it goes on adding the status. So this way you can also capture the status of your comments. Okay, so basically that's all about the features or the functions of Bluebeam project and Bluebeam sessions. And then, of course, one thing I have to mention that you can extract the summary in the CSV or the PDF file format. But at the end of the session, the originator also has this functionality, finish session. Okay. And in the meantime, if anybody just wants to leave the session, the markups won't go. They all have to do is just click onto this door. That is, leave the session. To join back, just click onto it and you are back in the session. Okay. But if you want to finish, the originator wants to finish this session, you can click over here, finish the session, and then where he wants to put the full this thing project report or the session report, he can decide where he wants to put it. So I will select this particular folder. Here it should be saved, and then what kind of report you want. So there are three types of reports that can be generated for a session. One is record summary. So what is record summary is this. Whatever you are seeing in the records. So this is all that has been recorded. So this is called as the record summary, and you will be able to get that as a record summary. When you say combined files report, it is nothing but this record summary as well as this particular or these files. You will get all of them as a one file. Okay. And then there is a PDF package report in which it creates the separate folder for the record summaries and all the files which are there inside it. Okay, so let me just show you this PDF package report for this particular uh, session. I'm going to end this. So it is going to create this PDF file. And I can show you this is how it is going to be seen. Yeah, so this is how it will be seen, webinar test session. So there is this report PDF file. I'll just close these session files over here and I'll show you this is how you will see. There is a report file, so which is nothing but all the records that were there in the session, and there is this documents file. So you just open these and then each of the file that you can see it separately. So there is a report file and all the main drawings will be in a separate folder. And when you open this file, along with that, all the comments will also appear over here, which of course you can extract it as a CSV summary and you can save it. I'll just quickly show you how it looks. So, I will show you maybe some other drawing. So this is the way you can extract the summary file. So that opens in Excel actually. This is how it will be seen. All right, so that's all for today in this particular webinar. And now we are open for the Q&A session. And Shankar, were you able to figure out about that poll part? Hello, Shankar, are you there?
Yes, Pushkar, I'm running the. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a second, it's loading up. Just a second. So how many people in your company use Bluebeam?
I think some people are raising their hands. Maybe you can just unmute them. Are they able to submit their polls? Maybe just one or two can unmute those who have raised their hands.
Arvind, I have allowed your mic. You can just unmute and ask your question. I'm seeing the responses coming in.
Are they more than, I mean, last time we could capture only 3 responses, I guess.
I think there are only 3 responses. So what I've done is I've kept the chat box open. So even after the webinar session is closed, the polls will be live. So people can still vote for the questions.
Are there any questions? MSD Rohit
Arvind, I
Patil.
have just unmuted. Yeah. So there is.
Amol is mentioning that those who are having Teams account only can vote, looks like.
Yeah, Mr. Bhimrao Jadhav, I've just unmuted. I've given you the mic. You can just unmute and ask your question.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, I have few questions. The first question, like in studio, when we create a project, suppose the project is complete. So how can we take the backup?
So
We need
it
to
is at
download or
Yeah,
you have some other facility, synchronized with our server, which can be backup on our local server?
yeah, you have the facility to get the archival of your project.
Yeah,
There is a
but that will be in
facility.
studio. If you want local, is a secondary backup. So is there is any facility like that? Or I mean, might be APIs or something we can have synchronized backup with server.
All right. With this, I mean, I will find out more details and you can email to us this particular query and I will provide you the options for archiving your projects onto your local folder or if there is any synchronization possible into your EDMS system. That is what you're asking, right?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay.
in any size limitation for the projects or folders?
For the project size and all, there is no limit as long as you have the active license. Your projects and sessions, I mean, sessions, of course, there is an expiry date which is mentioned, and the sessions get expired after 180 days of inactivity. I mean, after the due date, there will be a breathing period of about 180 days. After that, the session gets deleted, but nothing like that happens to your studio project.
Right. The other question is like, suppose I want to send some submittal to my client.
Okay.
He can directly get a link where he can able to download those or view those. So is that something is available?
Yes, in the projects you can uh, have that accesses which I shown you. So what you can do is for a particular folder, you give the permission to your client in the same studio project. And from there, whichever files you will put into that folder, he will be able to access them.
Okay. Without Bluebeam license or he need Bluebeam license?
No, the external user need not have the Bluebeam license. I showed you in the Gmail account.
Right.
I was
Right.
able to see the project
So
also
he
and
need to
view it
create that
also.
account.
Only thing, yes, he has to create that account, but he himself will not be able to create any project unless and
Right.
until that person is having core or complete license. Uh,
Mhm.
he or she will not be able to create any project or session.
I have the last question now.
Sir.
What studio has a different functionality if you have core license and complete license?
No, there is no differentiation as such for the core and complete. The studio functionality that I just now showcased or displayed, they are all same. And if you want to, I'll just maybe quickly share my screen again, and you can just go to in case of features, uh, just you can access this particular. Oh, sorry, pricing. Yes. So these are different flavors, basic, core, and complete. And this is in gist or like at a broader level, it is telling you which all functionalities are possible, not possible. But if you scroll down further, it is comparing all the features for you. And it will clearly tell you which all things are possible in basics, core, and complete. In studio, in review, you are not able to create. Can you see? Only this is not there in basics. The rest all
Right.
things you will be able to do.
Okay.
So you can
Yeah,
just go through this more in detail.
sure. I will. Yep. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thanks.
You can take
Yeah, Mr.
next.
Raja, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Mr. Raja, you can unmute yourself and ask your question, please. Mr. Rajan Nagendra Kumar, are you able to unmute yourself? So, okay. Okay. Yeah, Mr. PP, you can unmute yourself and go ahead. Ask your question, please.
Yeah, good afternoon. I
Yeah,
have
good
one
afternoon.
question. When at studio projects and both from my client side and my side, both can comment and it can be saved when we are
Yes,
in conference, correct?
correct. You're absolutely right. Not necessarily in a conference. I mean, you could be working in a different time zone. He or she could be working in a different time zone also. Whatever comments you are putting during your working hours will be recorded and kept over there. You don't even have to save anything. I mean, it just gets saved on its own in the same
Okay,
session.
but in the session only it was that option was shown, but the projects I have little bit doubt.
So yeah, in projects, you can store the files. So if there
Hmm.
is a PDF file, there is an option to create a session for that file. So what you
Okay,
can do is you can create the session and it will work same as what I've displayed to you before.
okay. In projects also it will work the same way.
Yeah, in project, there is a facility to
Okay,
create a session. So
okay,
ultimately, you are going to create a session only if you
okay,
want
okay.
that commenting part to happen.
Got it, got it. Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you,
welcome.
thank you. Yeah.
Raja, Mr. Raja, I think you have any questions? Shankar, can you unmute or can allow Raja to unmute Shankar?
Yeah, he's I've unmuted him. I mean, I've allowed
Yeah,
his
okay.
mic.
So Raja, you can ask your query. Uh, in the chat, maybe what we can do is I will just put in the email address for our technical support. And in case if you are not able to connect with us in this particular webinar, so maybe you can put your queries over there. I'll just type in for you in the chat.
So I'm pushing out one last poll. Let's see if everybody can see that. So give us feedback is very important for us. So um, please do rate this session. How effective was this session? So that we can bring more and more content available for you every month.
Mr. Pushkar,
Yes, yes.
you know, uh, like me, maybe some people facing challenge to even unmute and to write in
Yeah,
chat.
it is very disappointing, sir. I'm
Yeah.
extremely sorry for that. So, are you at least able to see our email address of the support? It is india-support@nemechek.com.
If that is disabled, we can't see anything there. So
Okay, what I will do is I'll just quickly share my screen with a notepad and I'm going to write our email address. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is the email address to which everybody can write a mail to. Please put your queries along with some basic details like your organization name, your email address. Of course, we will get your role, all these things, and what is the query. And of course, allow us some time to reply because we'll be, we are going to have one seminar also in Hyderabad. So maybe I may not be able to immediately answer your query.
Pushkar, your session was very nice, very clearly explained, and
Oh, wonderful.
thanks
Thank you
for
so
that.
much.
Uh,
Yes.
is possible you to have another sessions, maybe different sessions, like actual markup, because many people don't even understand. They use as a simple PDF. It is layers. Different person can
Okay.
use different layers and flatten off the markup. So that will be more useful for the low level detailer to get maximum use of Bluebeam.
Yeah, wonderful. Actually, in fact, our next webinar will be declared soon, and we are exactly planning to have the session on markups itself. So it will be a dedicated session, the power of markups for Bluebeam and how you can create different types of markups. You can create custom libraries. You can import, export those libraries, so you can share your library with other stakeholders within your organization or maybe outside also. So all such things, and even the profiles creation, and then get all these things in a markup list as a Excel file. Further, you can add columns. All such things we are going to cover. Definitely.
Yeah, the next one, next request is on estimation. Now you shown the visual search, that also help for,
Yes,
estimating the engineering things. You put image and, it will calculate uh,
correct.
all the quantities. So for estimation measurements, if you have the another session in detail, how to use all the tools, that
Yeah,
will also help.
definitely. Actually, in fact, Shankar, is it possible for you to share our YouTube link wherein the last webinar was exactly on this particular estimation part? Do you have the link? Just let me check quickly. So of course, we have already conducted that webinar in last month itself. It was, like kind of targeting the steel detailers or those who are in the steel industry or that fraternity. But the features are pretty much the same. You can do the BOQ estimation basis on the searching of the text or the small graphical images, and also you can do the calibration or how to set the scale for the drawing, on basis of which the line areas volume can be measured. So this is what we have covered actually. So you can search for our
I'll search,
YouTube.
yeah, I'll search and get it. So the last for the our expert users, developers, do you have the details of APIs what Bluebeam shared so we can integrate with our systems?
Okay. For the API, there is, I mean, if you write to us, I will share a link with you wherein your developers need to register themselves with that community, and then you will get the access to all the APIs or the resources which are there. You will be able to communicate with our developers, and then you will be able to integrate in your systems or whichever systems you are developing in house for your automation or whatever purpose, basically should be able to do it.
I'll be happy to
It is
receive
there.
that information. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
thanks.
Please write to us on this thing, on the email address that we had mentioned.
Yeah, sure, I'll do.
And Shankar has
Yeah.
displayed the
So
link. But one second, one second. I will just share my screen again, and they can, I mean, you all can see there is a Nemetschek India Bluebeam channel is there. And in that, you can see this Bluebeam review measurements and steel for steel estimators and modelers. So this took care
so
of your first, requirement as the estimation. And the next one we are going to cover is the markups. So this
Yeah,
was
that would be
today's
great.
session was about the collaboration.
Yep. Yeah, thank you, Merit. And I need to get that answer about synchronization of local backup because it
Yeah, yeah.
is very much mandated to have second,
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, backup for everything. So yeah,
Can you please write this query and I will give you a detailed answer and how, I mean, step-by-step procedure of how you can get the archival of your project once it is done. Probably you wouldn't like to keep it forever in your,
right,
in the cloud
right.
server and would like to have in your own custody, right?
Yes, right. That's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
understand.
Thanks. Yep. Thank you very
And we
much.
are very, very sorry for the kind of polls or question answers, some facilities not being available to you. Extremely sorry for that. But please do connect with us on the email address. All right, I think,
Thanks, Pushkar. Thank you
yeah,
so much, everyone, for attending this session. I hope this session has provided a lot of insights. Sorry for the technical glitch. We recently had IT migration shift, so I'm getting a comment that due to organization policy, external people might not have access to some of the features. So, however, I think we'll make these questions and polls available to you even on emails. We'll send out an email to you
offline,
where
yeah.
you can give your votes and answers. It will be really helpful if you can send all your feedbacks to us so that we can bring more and more content for you and customize to your own requirements and etc. Uh, Thank you so much. Please do write your queries to us on our email. We'll try to answer as many as possible. Thank you so much, Pushkar.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you,
Yeah.
everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Have a good day.
Thank
Bye.
you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.